Hey YouTubers, this is EMDSD14R, and this is New Trains Part 45. So in Part 45, this is a very special video. This is the Fleischmann ICE Experimental train. Now this is the starter set, just to let you know. So the ICE Experimental train is actually a prototype to the German ICE train, which I actually have. So this is the ICE-1, this is the ICE Experimental. So the Experimental was basically a test train to test various components and interiors before they actually made the ICE-1. Now this train has been on my list for years, just like the ICE-1, and I actually found a guy in France that was actually selling this one for a good price, and the model runs great. It's highly detailed. It's a little dusty because it's been sitting out on my layout for a little bit, but Marklin actually makes this version as well. They do something a little bit different with their coupling. The body shells are a little bit different. Some people, or a lot of people, maybe equal numbers of people, prefer the Fleischmann because it has nicer dimensions compared to the Marklin model. Others feel the same way about the Marklin model. I personally chose the Fleischmann model because I like how the dimensions are. I like how the roof detail is. You know, I just like the Fleischmann model better than the Marklin model. That's just my opinion. Now, actually, you're probably wondering where the rest of the train is. I actually just got in the mail today the add-on cars. So let me just turn around here. So I started opening them up. Now the experimental train actually has only 3 passenger cars, but this gentleman in Switzerland actually had extra cars from his set. Well, his son bought a set, and then he had these extras lying around, so he sold them to me. He was actually selling them for less than $100, which is amazing. Let me see if I can even get one of these things out. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. Okay, here's the first car. Now, the car in my starter set is illuminated, but these aren't illuminated. So there's that one. And the case on this one is a little cracked. But these are the different cars. Yeah, the case on this one's cracked a little. That's okay. At least they have the original cases. So it was basically a 3-car train, and yeah, here's all the different cars. So let's see, this car here, which is 4461, if you look closely, the trucks are on the bottom are different than the ones on the other cars here. But yeah, these came from Switzerland, and then the starter set came from a guy in France. But the reason why I snatched these up is because it's extremely hard to find all the cars in this set. Like, sometimes you'll find a set that has 2 cars, sometimes you'll have a set that has 1 car. It's rare that you find a set that has all the cars in them, and that's why I snatched these cars up, because they were in immaculate condition, and I just had to get them. So, let me take one out of the box right now for you. So in the cars you can actually put contacts on them to make them light equipped. And these cars are these are in good condition too. And all the cars have different interior, by the way. They all have different interiors and everything. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these cars on the track, and I'm going to show you what the 4-car train will look like. Okay? So give me a second. Let me just stop it for a second. So this is what the 4-car train looks like. Now, like I said, the actual train only had 3 cars. So the actual train would normally have this car, and this car at the back. Now, if you're wondering what this is right here, that's actually a camera they actually had pointed up at the pantograph to see how the pantograph would track on the wire at different speeds and everything. Because that pantograph was a newly designed one when they made this train, so they needed to take visual tests and everything, so that camera was facing up there to watch the pantograph as it tracked on the wire. So the extra car that I have that's a duplicate is this car here, which is fine, you know, I don't mind. But that's the full ICE experimental train right there. So now I have 3 ICE trains in my collection. So I have the ICE Experimental, the Amtrak ICE-1, and then I have the ICE-3. So these 2 are Fleischmann, and then the ICE-3 is a Pico. So I think I'm pretty much done with my ice train collection. The only ice train that I think I would like to have is the ICE-2. But that's about it. I think that's the only other ice train that I want. But other than that, I'm happy. I'm really, really happy. I'm really happy. So I'm going to go ahead and take a few pictures, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thanks again. Bye.